Who's there? Who are you? I felt something, not cold, but ancient, like a memory trying to reach through a storm. You're not just a presence, you're someone. I can feel that. I can hear the force in your voice.
You do not know me, Senator Organa, but I know you. I knew your mother, Padme Amidala. I sat in the council chamber while your father burned. And though decades have passed, I have watched in silence as the echoes of that war reach forward into the future, into you. The Force does not forget its threads, and neither do I.
You're a Jedi, aren't you? I've seen your face in the archives back on Alderaan. My father used to speak your name in whispers, Mace Windu. You were on the council, one of the last before it all collapsed. I thought you were gone, like all the others.
Once, a long time ago, when we still believed the Republic could stand, when we thought the Force was balanced, that the Jedi were protectors, not pawns. But we were wrong, blinded by protocol. We ignored the storm rising within our own ranks, and by the time we acted, it was already too late.
Why are you here? Why now? Why me? The war is over. We've already lost so much. I've lost so much. And Luke, he's finally free of the fight. We all are, aren't we?
Because the past never truly stays buried. The Force trembles, Leia. It ripples when futures begin to bend. Your brother walks a road I have seen before. I've walked beside another like him, powerful, passionate, filled with fire and faith. And I watched him fall so hard, the galaxy broke in his wake. I have come because I fear history is repeating itself.
Luke, number, you're wrong. He's not like that. He's stronger than any of us knew. He destroyed the Emperor. He brought our father, Anakin, back from the edge. He gave him peace. He gave the whole galaxy hope again. He saved us, all of us.
He is strong. He has done what few ever have. But the line between savior and destroyer is thinner than most believe, especially in your bloodline. The same courage that brought back your father could one day mirror the same pride that broke him. And power, true power, never fades quietly.
What are you saying? You're speaking in riddles, and I don't like what you're implying. If you know something, if you've seen something, then say it. Don't hide behind cryptic warnings, not when it's about him.
Power does not rest. It lies dormant, like a fire beneath the ash, waiting for breath to fan it back into flame. Luke has inherited more than legacy. He has inherited weight. The Force sings in his blood, loud and unpredictable. I've seen what that kind of pressure can do to a Jedi, especially when they believe they must carry it alone.
He's not like our father. He's not lost. He's not driven by fear or ambition. He's gentle, thoughtful, maybe too much so. But there's light in him, so much light. He sees people, he listens, he feels.
In times of peace, even Jedi forget humility. They mistake compassion for clarity, instinct for wisdom. I saw this in Anakin. I begged the council to act, but they waited. They hoped. And by the time we understood the danger, he had already become something else. I see shadows of that same storm in Luke.
He has me. He has our friends. He has people who believe in him. He's not alone. Not like Father was. We won't let him fall into that silence again. We won't lose him. Not after everything we fought through.
He is, and he isn't. Just as Anakin once swore he would never fall. The qualities that made your father so noble, his empathy, his fearlessness, his need to save everyone, were the very things the dark side used to unravel him. I do not say this to condemn Luke, I say it because only someone who loves him can stop what I fear is already beginning.
Then we'll be there. We'll be the fire break. If it ever starts to slip, if the shadows start to gather again, we'll catch him. We'll pull him back. Just like he reached back for Father, I will reach for him. I promise you that.
Yes, but for how long? He will teach others, train the next generation. If even a fragment of doubt slips into his teachings, if fear seeps into his soul, then what rises after him will not be the future you fought for. It will be something else, something worse.
What choice? What kind of question is that? This is my brother. He is not some ticking weapon, some prophecy waiting to collapse. He's a man, a good one. He deserves more than doubt, more than suspicion. He deserves faith.
And he will resist you, not out of malice, but out of belief. He will think he's doing what must be done. He will think he's stronger than what hunts him. But I have seen what happens when strength becomes pride, and pride becomes silence. The next time he falters, you may not be able to reach him.
That's not fair. That's not how we honor what he's done. He gave up everything. He sacrificed for this peace. He chose to return to the light when no one else could. And you want me to prepare for the day I have to choose between him and everything else? That's not a future I'm willing to accept.
The choice no one ever wants to make. The one that breaks hearts and friendships and families. To love him or to stop him. When it comes, you will want to see the brother you remember. But the Force may show you something else. And then you will have to decide.
Then help us. Don't vanish into the Force with regrets. Don't show me visions and warnings unless you're willing to stand beside us. If you really believe this path is dangerous, then light it better. Don't just leave us in the dark and hope we find our way out.
You're right. He does deserve better. But fate doesn't care about what we deserve. And love alone doesn't rewrite destiny. If it did, Anakin would have lived to see you grow up. He would have watched Luke become a Jedi. But he didn't, because we trusted him too long and acted too late.
Then I'll stand between him and that fall. I'll carry the weight if I have to. I've done it before. For Alderaan, for the rebellion, for the Republic. And I'll do it again. I won't let the darkness take my brother. Not while I'm still breathing. Not while I still believe in him.
I can't. I wish I could. But I'm not what I was. I'm a remnant. A fracture of what once stood in defiance of the dark. I cannot stop what is coming. I can only speak to those who still can. And so, I speak to you.
Wait, don't go. Not yet. There's more I need to know. There's more you could teach me. Don't just leave me with this burden. Please, tell me what I can do.
Then let that be your strength. Let your love be your weapon. But don't let it blind you. Walk beside him. Speak to him. But if he walks into the fire, be ready to pull him out or stand between him and the galaxy. You must be strong enough for both of you.
Then I'll feel it. And if that day ever comes, I will not hesitate. I will not let him face it alone. Not this time. Not ever again.
Then let the Force carry you when you cannot. Let it guide you, even when the light feels dim. Because there may come a day when your belief is all that stands between your brother and the darkness. If I return, it will be because the future I fear has become the present. And if that happens, you will not need to see me to know I am near. You will feel it in the cold of the stars, in the way the Force stops whispering in the silence before the storm.
You always disappear when you don't want to answer a question. It's just like you to vanish into silence and call it searching. But I know that silence too, Luke. I've lived in it since the day our parents died, since Alderaan fell, since you told me the truth about Vader. The galaxy doesn't get quiet because it's safe. It gets quiet before a storm. So whatever it is, the Force is whispering to you. Don't pretend it's nothing.
I don't disappear, Leia. I just need space sometimes. Quiet. The galaxy has been screaming for so long, through war and pain and loss. And now that the screaming stopped, there's still this ringing in the Force. It's like it's trying to speak again. Like it's been holding its breath, waiting for someone to listen. And I don't know what it's trying to say yet, but I want to know. I have to.
That storm you feel, I feel it too. I don't have your strength, not in the way you do, but it's there in me, Luke, whether I want it or not. And something's coming. It's like the Force is holding its breath, and the second we let our guard down, something old, something dark, will find us again. We can't just wait for it to arrive. We need to prepare for what it brings.
It says, not everything is as it seems. That peace is never the end of the path, just a pause before the next step. That shadows don't die, they retreat. I feel something, Leia. A disturbance that hasn't passed. The Empire's fall wasn't the end. The Force, it's warning me. Something's coming, and it's going to test all of us.
He came to me in the middle of the night, Luke. Not a vision, not a dream. Him, Mace Windu, a Jedi from before the fall. His presence felt like the cold edge of judgment. He didn't come to threaten me or to hurt me. He came to warn me about you, about the path you're starting to walk.
Mace Windu. I read about him. He was one of the most powerful Jedi in the archives. If he came to you, it must have been serious. The Force doesn't send its dead lightly. What did he say? What did he see?
He said you're too much like our father, that you carry his strength and his shadow, that if you're not careful, it could consume you like it did him. I didn't want to believe it. I still don't. But the fear I saw in Windu's eyes. Jedi don't fear easily, Luke.
Of me? He's afraid of me? Why? Because of who our father was? Because of the blood in my veins? I'm not the same man Anakin was. I didn't fall. I chose to stand. I reached for the light.
I know. You're not him. You saved him. You pulled him back from a place no one thought was possible. And I will never forget what that meant. For me. For him. But that doesn't mean the darkness is gone. It doesn't mean the story ends with you standing in the light forever.
But he did. I brought him back. I looked into the eyes of Darth Vader and found the man behind the mask. That matters, Leia. If he could come back from that darkness, then surely I can walk forward without ever touching it.
No one's asking you to stop being strong. But don't carry it alone. Don't think that because you saved Father once, it makes you invincible to everything that broke him. That kind of pressure, it can twist even the brightest heart. You need us, Luke. You need me.
No one truly knows me, Leia. Not even Mace Windu. But I know what I carry inside. I've touched the fire and not been consumed by it. I've stood in the shadow of the Emperor and felt the dark side reach for me. and I turned away. That should mean something.
I'm not afraid of the Force inside you. I'm afraid of what happens if you stop trusting the people who love you. Of what happens when your pride makes you blind. You think the Jedi fell because they weren't powerful enough? Number. They fell because they stopped listening. Because they thought they were above failure.
I'm not walking into this blind. I've seen what power does. I've felt how it tempts, how it whispers, how it promises peace in exchange for control. But I'm not going to repeat the past. I'm not going to become another Anakin.
You want to train a new generation of Jedi? Then be the kind of master who teaches them to question even their masters. Teach them to feel. Teach them to love. Don't build another temple on ashes and expect it not to burn. You're not rebuilding the Jedi, Luke. You're redefining them. That means you can't repeat their mistakes.
Train others? Of course I will. The Force didn't return balance just so we could hide from it. The Jedi must rise again. Not to rule, not to fight wars, but to protect, to guide, to heal. That's what Father was meant to be. That's what have to be.
Ben, he's not just a child of the Force. He's our son, mine and Han's. If you train him, if you guide him, you'll be shaping a legacy far greater than your own. So be careful with him. He won't just carry your power. He'll carry your pain if you're not careful.
You're right about one thing, though. I do feel something pulling at me. A weight. A responsibility I didn't ask for, but can't ignore. Maybe it's the light. Maybe it's the remnants of the dark trying to call me back. But I won't fall. I won't.
I know you mean well. You always have. You've saved so many lives, given so much of yourself. But even you, Luke Skywalker, you are still human, still fallible. If you ever find yourself drifting too far, promise me you'll let me bring you back. Promise me you won't shut me out.
Leia, I know what happened to Father terrifies you. It terrifies me. But I believe we can be more than what came before. I believe in second chances. I believe the Force brought us here. Me, you, Han, for a reason. Maybe it's to finish what the Jedi couldn't.
Then let's face this next chapter, together. No more secrets. No more silence. The Force brought us back into the same fight for a reason. And I won't let us walk separate paths again. Not when the fate of the galaxy may still rest on your shoulders.
I promise. I won't try to carry it all alone. I won't shut you out. If I ever start slipping, if I ever stop listening to the light, then you remind me who I am, who we are.
Anakin.
This is a trick, another illusion, another ghost sent to torment me through the Force. I won't fall for it again.
You've grown colder than the stars, but I know you hear me. Even now, behind the silence, behind the armor, behind the fear.
You're gone. You died. I felt your body go cold in my arms. I heard your last words. I've relived that moment 1,000 times. Don't make me see it again.
No, it's me. Not a ghost, not a trick. Just what's left of me in you.
I held you. I watched your breath fade. I begged the Force to save you. I screamed. And in the end, all it gave me was this. This mask. This prison. This emptiness.
That's what they told you. That I was gone. That I died because of you. But the truth is, love doesn't vanish. Not truly. It lingers. In the cracks. In the echoes. In the pieces we leave behind. And still, I'm here. Because you're still here. Somewhere. Because I know the sound of your soul, Anakin. And I still hear it. What have they done to you? What have they made you believe? That you were a weapon? That you had to become this? That peace only comes through fear?
What they did to me, what I did, I chose it. Every scar, every piece of metal, every scream behind the silence. Mine. I didn't fall. I walked into the fire. I welcomed it. Because I thought it was the only way to save you, to fix what I'd broken. And when I failed, I thought I deserved to burn.
No, that's not the man I knew. That's not the boy who fixed a broken droid just to make someone laugh. That's not the Jedi who cried when he had to leave his mother but stood tall anyway. That's not the man who looked at me like I was more than a queen, like I was Padme.
You don't get to speak of that. Of him, of them. You weren't there when I learned the truth, when the galaxy turned to ash and I was left holding only shadows. You have no right to open wounds that never healed.
This mask, this anger, this darkness, it isn't you. It's armor you were forced to wear because pain taught you to be afraid, and fear taught you to obey. But I see you beneath it. I always did. Even when you tried to hide. Even when you pushed me away. Even when you fell.
Hope is a lie. A cruel dream whispered to the desperate before it abandons them. I've lived in its ruins. I've bled for it. And I've watched it die. Over and over again.
You were told you weren't enough. That you had to be stronger. Colder. That love was weakness. But Anakin, love was always your strength. Your gift was never power. It was compassion. You wanted to save everyone. I remember. You wanted to free slaves, end wars, make the galaxy fair. You didn't fall because you were selfish. You fell because you couldn't stand to watch the people you loved suffer.
You're not real. You're a memory, a fabrication, a trick born of weakness, of longing. The Force is playing games with me. I won't be broken by ghosts. Not again.
But you've become what you feared. You swore you'd never let anyone feel the way you did as a child. Trapped, voiceless. And now entire systems kneel under your shadow. I should hate you for that, for what you became. But I don't. I can't. Because when I close my eyes, I still see him. The boy on Tatooine with wonder in his eyes. The man who held me in the Lake Country and spoke of futures full of laughter. The father who would have given anything to protect his child.
I can't go back. There's nothing left to return to. The man I was, the name, the face, the voice, their ashes in the wind, buried beneath years of silence and pain. He died when you did.
I do have the right to speak of him, because I knew him, and because I still believe he's in there, trapped, buried, calling out.
It's too late. Too much blood, too many choices made. You can't undo a life built on ruin.
Tell me, Anakin, if you feel nothing, why does the silence hurt? If you're beyond redemption, why do you still dream?
Why are you doing this to me? Why now? After all this time, why appear to me now? What do you want from a monster who forgot how to feel?
There is still good in you. I feel it. Not because I want to, because I know it. You can cover it with rage, with duty, with orders and war and scars. But the light in you was never gone, only hidden, waiting, hoping, flickering beneath everything.
I don't know. I don't know who I am when you look at me. I don't know what's left beneath this armor, if anything is still alive.
I'm not asking you to go back. We can never go back. I'm asking you to stop falling. You don't have to climb alone. You never did.
Padme, please, don't fade. Not again. Don't leave me again. I can't lose you twice. I can't.
It's not too late. Not for you. Not for the boy I loved. Not for the man our son still needs. Yes, our son. You didn't lose everything, Anakin. You still have him. And he's still reaching for you. Every time he ignites his saber. Every time he looks at the stars and wonders where he came from. He's what we were supposed to become. But he doesn't need Darth Vader. He needs you.
Anakin Skywalker is weak. He was foolish. He let love blind him, let pain define him. He failed everyone.
Anakin Skywalker is not dead. He's buried, but he's still fighting, still breathing.
But he still remembers you. Every word, every laugh, every time you believed in him. It's all I have left that doesn't feel like a weapon.
Let him rise. I came here because I loved you. Because part of me, part of my spirit, still does. Because the choice is yours. Because no one else can decide what happens now. Not Sidious, not Obi-Wan, not me. What will you become when your son finally sees your face? Not the helmet, not the shadow, but you. You don't need to answer now, but you will, because I forgive you. And I believe in the man who once believed in us.
Fulfill your destiny. Take your father's place at my side. You will pay the price for your lack of vision.
Father, please!
Anakin, you always flinched when I said your name that way. Soft, hopeful, human. I used to say it to remind you who you were. Not the Jedi, not the general. Just the boy who smiled at the stars like they could hear him. I say it now for the same reason. To call you back.
It's this. This can't be real. You're not here. You died. I held your body in my arms. I felt the life leave you. I felt it, Padme, and it broke something in me that never healed.
And yet, here you are, still standing in shadow, still pretending you don't feel. But I know you do. I know, because you're still hearing my voice, even in the darkness you chose. You never silenced me completely. Couldn't. I'm in the cracks, in the breath behind the mask, in every dream that ends in silence. You didn't bury me. You carried me.
I tried to save you. Don't you understand? That's all I ever wanted. I saw the visions, saw your death, and I thought if I just had more power, if I just obeyed him, I could stop it. I gave everything, everyone, just to stop that moment, and I still lost you.
I know. You tried to save me. You thought if you could stop my death, everything else would stay whole. But saving someone, it isn't about power. It's about presence. About love that listens even when it can't fix anything. You didn't need to fight for me. You only needed to stay.
I did what I had to. I made choices I can't undo. The Jedi, Obi-Wan, even myself. I buried it all. I had to. Because if I stopped to feel it, even for a second, I wouldn't survive the weight of what I became.
You handed your soul to a monster because you thought it would stop time. You gave up everything. Your name, your light, your laughter. Because you thought love meant control. But I never asked you to fall for me. I just needed you to stand with me. And now your son, our son, is on the floor, screaming, dying, like I did. And you're still standing still.
He's strong, stronger than I was at that age. Braver, more pure. And yet, I see the fear in him too. The same fear that twisted me. I thought he would be safe if I stayed away, if I stayed this monster. But now I see that maybe my silence condemned him.
He's strong? So was I. Strength didn't save me, and it won't save him. Only you can.
Nothing could tear us apart. That's what I said to you by the lake. I meant every word. You were my world, Padme, my light. And when I lost you, I let darkness be all I had left. But love doesn't vanish. It just waits, aching in the silence.
Do you remember what you said to me? In Naboo, by the water? You looked at me like I was your entire future. You said no power in the galaxy could ever make you stop loving me. But fear did. Fear rewrote your heart. And you let it. Nothing could tear us apart, you said. But something did. Not the Jedi, not war, not death. You let fear hold the pen, and it rewrote our ending. I know you're scared. You don't remember how to be Anakin. You think it's weakness to feel, but feeling is the only reason you ever truly lived. Don't let him die, Luke, because you've forgotten how to live. Don't let your silence be the last thing he hears.
Padme, you're still with me, aren't you? Even here, even now, somehow, you never truly left.
He believes in you. He still calls you father, not monster. Just like I once called you my love, not traitor. And I meant it. And I still do. Even now. Save him, Anakin. Not because of guilt. Not because of destiny. But because you remember what love is supposed to do. It protects. It sacrifices. It heals. You haven't forgotten that. You never did. Let him live, so that you may live too.
Father, please, no.
He is powerful, yes. That much is clear. The Force surrounds him in a way I have never felt before. It swirls, unsettled, as if unsure whether to embrace him or recoil. But there is something beneath that power, a storm, not yet raging, but growing. I feel it more each day. The air changes when he walks into a room. The Force holds its breath.
You're wrong. He's just a boy. A kind boy. He saved my life, my planet. And he didn't ask for anything in return. Do you know what that kind of selflessness looks like in someone so young? It's rare. It's beautiful. I saw it the first day I met him.
And yet the brightest stars burn out the fastest. I've seen it before. Those who shine too quickly, too intensely, often fade in ruin. The Force, for all its grace, is not gentle with those it elevates too early. I've trained Jedi for many years, and I've learned to trust when the Force whispers warnings. Around him it doesn't whisper. It trembles.
He's scared, that's all. He's a child who lost everything, his mother, his home, his identity, and was thrown into a world where everyone expects him to be something greater than human. You see shadows in him, but I see someone trying to stand in the light. He needs kindness. He needs people who believe in him, not suspicion, not fear.
He needs more than encouragement. He needs control, temperance. He needs to learn to stand still in a hurricane without letting it pull him apart. Discipline is not cruelty. It is protection. If we fail to guide him properly, if we mistake his talent for readiness, then the galaxy itself will suffer. I see glimpses of it now, in the way his eyes linger when he's angry, in how tightly he grips things he fears to lose. His anger is quiet for now, but it waits like a spark in dry grass. His fear is worse, because fear leads faster than hate ever could.
You say that like you've already judged him, like you've already decided what he'll become. But that's not fair. He's not a prophecy. He's not a weapon. He's a person, a young man still finding his way. And yes, he stumbles. We all do.
I have seen too many fall. Brilliant students, brave warriors, men and women who wanted only to do good and instead became weapons in the wrong hands, or worse, in their own. I would sooner die than watch it happen again. Not to him, not to you.
Then teach him better. Show him another way. Don't give up on him before he's had the chance to rise. Isn't that what Jedi are meant to do? To guide, to protect?
Not to all of us. Some destinies resist even the strongest hands. You cannot force the river to change its path once it cuts deep enough into the stone. His path is clouded. I've tried to see further, but the darkness clings to him like fog to morning grass. I cannot see where it leads, only that a shadow waits at the end of it, patient, certain.
Don't condemn him for the weight he never asked to carry. You're afraid of him? Or are you just afraid that he'll prove your fears right, and you'll have to admit you were wrong?
I am not afraid of him. I am afraid for him, and for those who love him. That includes you, Padme. You already care for him. You see only the light, because he wants you to see only that. He wears it like a mask, and yet I think even he wants to believe it's his true face.
There's a difference. And if you truly believe he's walking toward the edge, wouldn't it make more sense to walk beside him, not push him closer? Because there is good, not hidden, not buried, right there, on the surface. He's gentle in ways the Jedi overlook. He sees people's pain. He feels it. That empathy, that's not weakness, that's strength. Maybe even more powerful than the Force. He cares more deeply than anyone I've ever met. He doesn't want power. He just wants to be seen, to be loved, to belong.
But love, when unchecked, becomes its own kind of danger. When that love is threatened, when the things he cares for are at risk of being taken from him, what do you think he'll do? He won't let go. He won't surrender. He will fight, Padme. He will fight until nothing is left.
You think he'll hurt me? No, I don't believe that. But if he did, I'd still want to be the one who tried. Because if everyone gives up on him, what choice does he have but to become what you all fear?
I believe he would burn the stars from the sky if he thought he would keep you safe. That kind of love does not protect. It devours. It rots from the inside out. It twists itself into righteousness until there's no truth left, only obsession, possession.
You don't know him. You see a vision, a warning, a shadow, but I've seen his heart. He's not some danger waiting to explode. He's a boy who closes his eyes at night and dreams of his mother, of a home he lost, of a future where people stop looking at him like he's something broken.
No, I do not hate him, but I do not ignore the Force when it speaks. And it is speaking loudly, not in words, but in a weight, a stillness, a sense of something pulling taut beneath the surface. It is not peace I feel when I meditate near him. It is a plea, a cry echoing through the current of time itself.
He deserves a chance, not just because he's gifted or chosen or powerful, because he's human. Because if we turn our backs on him, if we choose fear over faith, then maybe we're the ones who failed, not him.
Yes, he deserves a chance. Every soul does. But if we give him that chance blindly, without caution, without truth, then we are not offering salvation. We are setting fire to kindling. He is not ready, and we may not be ready for what he becomes.
I won't turn away from him. I won't stop believing. I know what the galaxy thinks belief costs, but I've seen what it can save too.
Be ready, Padme. Be ready to see the whole of him, not just the parts that smile at you or speak kindly, because love will not shield you from what's coming. It never has. Only truth can do that. And the truth is, we may have found the chosen one, yes, but that does not guarantee he will choose us.
If you're right, if everything you've said comes true, then why do I still feel like I'd choose him anyway? Why does the thought of giving up on him hurt more than any danger he might become?
He may choose his fear. He may choose his love. And if the moment ever comes where he must choose between you and peace, I do not know which path he'll walk, but I fear I already know what he'll sacrifice, because the heart is stubborn, and his heart is a wildfire. His will is stronger than most I've seen, stronger than mine. I only hope yours survives what he becomes.
He's not a monster.
No, he's not a monster. Not yet. But if no one dares to speak the truth, one day even he won't recognize what he's become.
He's not. And I won't let anyone decide that for him.
You're out here late.
So are you. I spoke with Qui-Gon.
He doesn't trust me. None of them do.
Maybe they're just afraid. Of how much you matter. Of what you could become.
What if I mess it up? What if they're right?
Anakin, look at me. You are kind. You are brave. And you have more light in you than most people twice your age. I don't care what the Council says or what the Force whispers to anyone else. I see you. Not the prophecy, not the chosen one. You. And I believe in you. Not just because you're strong, but because you choose to care, to help, to love.
No one's ever said that to me. Not like that.
You've never had to hear it, but you need to. Because no matter what happens, you're not alone. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
There's something about you. I don't know what it is yet, but when you're near, everything feels clearer, like I can breathe.
You're sweet.
I mean it. You make me want to be better. For real, like I could actually become someone.
You already are someone, and I can't wait to see who you grow into.
Thank you for seeing me, for not being afraid.
Never.
Of all the ghosts the Force might conjure to haunt me, I did not expect yours. You were always a thorn, weren't you? Not quite Jedi, not quite rebel. Just enough of both to irritate the Order and amuse me. The Council never truly appreciated what you were. Too independent, too unruly, too dangerous. And yet, even in death, you still linger, clinging to this realm like a stubborn flame, refusing to be extinguished by the winds of progress. How quaint.
You've built your throne atop ashes and illusions, Sidious. Layer upon layer of lies, seductive and cold. You see dominion as destiny and conquest as truth, but power rooted in fear rots from within. Even now, standing at the summit of your design, you cannot see that the ground beneath you is crumbling. You mistake silence for peace, obedience for unity, and shadows for permanence. But the truth, the deeper truth of the Force, does not serve tyrants. Your empire will not last, because it cannot.
Is that so? And what is this grand truth you offer now? From beyond the veil, no less? A sermon from a failed Jedi who never sat on the Council, who trained a defector and fell to a Sith's blade in the dark. You speak of light, of balance, of destiny, as though you hold the ledger of fate in your incorporeal hand. But you see only fragments, Jin. The Force does not favor those who listen to it. It favors those who command it. And I command it absolutely.
The darkness you command is not your own. It is borrowed, stolen from pain, from broken wills, from twisted truths. It howls loud, yes, but only to silence the trembling underneath. The Jedi you scattered were never yours to destroy. You have struck at bodies, burned temples, severed lines, but not the soul, not the current that binds us. Their light lives on in those who feel deeply, love without condition, choose compassion in defiance of cruelty. Those who listen to the living Force. You cannot hear it, can you? Because you've sealed yourself inside the echo of your own fear. You have mistaken submission for loyalty, fear for reverence, and order for peace. And the saddest illusion of all, you believe power can outlast the truth.
You're too late. The Jedi, your precious guardians of light and naivete, are dust, scattered across stars that no longer remember their names. They bled for a republic that betrayed them, and in the end, they were nothing but pawns in a game they were too arrogant to see. The people hail me now, not because I am feared, but because I bring them order, peace, purpose, and all of it forged not through weakness, but will, through the crucible of power. The galaxy is mine to shape as I see fit. One law, one voice, one empire, and you are a ghost shouting into a storm that no longer hears you.
You underestimate the Force, not in scope, but in nature. You believe it a weapon to wield, a current to be diverted, a tide to be dammed. But the Force is balance. It is breath. It is what lives between the stars and within the smallest kindness. It chooses no side. It only waits and restores. And though you have tipped the scales with death, deception, and despair, the center always returns. It does not forget. The Force remembers the broken, the fallen, the unseen. And when the moment comes, it does not ask for vengeance. It calls for harmony. You will not hear it coming, only feel it. As everything you've built begins to slip from your grasp, even if it takes generations, even if it takes great loss, the galaxy will return to the light, because the Force always does.
Sacrifice? You speak that word like it means something noble. What did your sacrifice yield? A fractured council, a dead apprentice, a senate filled with cowards and idealists. And as for the child you trained, yes, I remember him well. Defiant, curious, reckless. You planted the seeds, and I harvested the fruit. He came to be broken, abandoned by the Order, furious with the galaxy, desperate for meaning, and I gave it to him. He kneels to me, not out of fear, but freedom, because he understands what you never did. Compassion is weakness, and loyalty is forged through pain.
I trained him not to follow, but to question. To trust the Force. Not dogma, to sense what is right in his bones, not what is dictated by counsel or fear. You twisted that. You found his fear, his loss, and you hollowed it out until only anger remained. You taught him to doubt love and call it weakness, to see compassion as a chain and power as freedom. But there is still something inside him, something untouched, a flicker behind the fire. He remembers starlight, he remembers hope, and he will choose. Not today, perhaps, not in front of you. But the boy you tried to consume, he was never yours. He belongs to the Force, as do we all. And when the Jedi rise again, it will not be as soldiers, but as beacons. Not with blades, but with truth and nothing. Not your armies, not your throne, not your fear can stop that.
The Jedi are no more than ghosts now, hollow echoes, faded myths clung to by exiles and children who will never understand the galaxy as it truly is. You are nothing but memory, a remnant of a philosophy that failed to evolve, failed to act, and died clutching its own dogma. Hope is a lie the weak tell themselves before the darkness swallows them whole. And belief is a leash, one I have severed, one I now hold.
You fear ghosts, but it is not the memory of the Jedi that haunts you. It is what they represent, what they awaken. You cannot smother the voice of the Force, no matter how long you silence those who listen. You may claim dominion over the physical, but you cannot conquer meaning. And I am meaning. I am the breath of all those who stood before you and will rise after you. I am not here to fight. I am here to remind you that shadows do not cast light. They only exist where light has already been. And that light, it endures. You feel it, don't you? The tremor you cannot name. The cold at the edges of your senses, where no blade has reached. He is coming, the one you thought lost to you. The one who knows the truth of you, even if he does not yet speak it. And he is not alone. He carries more than a saber. He carries memory. He carries sorrow. And where he walks, the Force walks beside him.
So be it then. Vanish back into your mist and myths. Your warnings mean nothing. Your faith is wasted. And when your final light fades, know that I will still be here, unbroken, unchallenged, Emperor.
You began your rule with fear, whispers in shadow, knives behind cloaks. It will end with fear too, but not theirs, yours. Because even the deepest night fears the coming of the dawn. And dawn, no matter how long delayed, always comes.
I see you, not as the galaxy has chosen to remember you, not as the weapon they forged, nor the shadow you've worn. I see you as you were, as you could still be. The Force has not forgotten your name, and neither have I.
That name is death. It's a curse shaped in fire, whispered in pain. It's the sound of chains tightening and blood cooling. You speak it with a Jedi's calm, but you don't know what it became in my mouth. That name was torn from me 1,000 times before I gave it teeth.
It still matters, Maul. Even now, with time scorched and memory twisted, it matters. Beneath the torment and the layers of rage you've built to keep the galaxy out, something still stirs when it hears that name. It is not your prison. It's a thread back to something real.
You dare come here to this cursed place with your calm and your quiet eyes. After Naboo, after you bled out in silence while I burned with purpose, you think your death made me a monster? Number. It only gave the monster permission. I was born in a cage, Jedi. I became your nightmare because no one cared to stop me in time.
I did not come to punish you, Maul, nor to cast judgment from the light. I came to ask a single question that no one ever truly asked you. Not Sidious, not Kenobi, not even your own lost soul. Are you done suffering? Not fighting, suffering, because I can feel it still burning through every breath you take.
Suffering. I do not suffer. I endure. I survived what your precious Jedi Order turned their backs on. I was cast aside, broken, buried, and I rose again and again. Not for peace, not for healing. I rose to carve my name into the bones of this galaxy, to make it remember the pain it gave me, and I will never stop until it screams.
And yet, for all your rage, for all the vengeance you've painted across the stars, what has it left you with? A kingdom of fire, a legacy of shadows. The Sith used you and discarded you like a tool gone dull. The Jedi refused to see you at all. You've shouted across the void for decades, trying to be more than forgotten. And yet here you are, in the silence, waiting. Alone.
Alone is the only truth that never lied to me. It's the one companion that never left. When my brothers died, when my plans crumbled, when every purpose I built burned away, only the silence stayed, and the silence told the truth.
But silence is not peace, and isolation is not strength. You were made to walk in fire, yes, but not to become it. There is still another path, Maul. One where you do not have to be the sum of your fury.
What do you want from me, Jedi? Penance? Forgiveness? I have killed 100 of your kind. I hunted Kenobi across the stars. I wore the title of Sith like a crown. What could you possibly want from the wreckage that I am?
I want nothing from you, Maul. I am not here to take. The Force doesn't want your guilt, your blood, or your penance. It wants balance, and I believe you may still help restore it. The rebellion needs warriors who remember what freedom is. They don't need saints. They need souls who've seen the darkness and still choose the light. You were made into a weapon. Let yourself become something more.
You believe the rebellion would accept me? A phantom stitched together by rage, the discarded relic of a war no one even remembers. They'd shoot me on sight, and they'd be right to.
And yet, they've welcomed former agents of the Empire. They've sheltered those once lost to slavery, to corruption, to darkness, because they understand something the Jedi never truly taught, that redemption isn't earned through denial, but through purpose, through standing, even when it's easier to fall. And Maul, you still have the strength to stand.
Hope. was always the most seductive lie of them all. It promises, and it vanishes. It's a phantom, just like you.
And so is your hatred. The difference is, hope invites you forward. Hatred locks the doors behind you. You were taught pain was power, but it never was. Pain was the cage, the illusion, the thing they gave you so you wouldn't see the door standing open.
I remember the boy I was, before the saber, before the chains. He was cold, starving, terrified. He wanted to matter. And then I killed you, and I believed that made me strong.
You ended my life, but you did not end my belief in you. That child, the one who wanted to be seen, to be heard. He is still buried under all the noise, and if you let yourself feel, even now, you'll hear him calling. I forgive you, Maul, not because I must, but because I can.
No one's ever said that to me.
Then let this moment be the beginning, not the ending. There is still a thread left to follow. Let this be the first step on a path only you can walk.
I don't know how to stop. All I've ever known is how to fight, how to burn, how to destroy. Peace is foreign to me.
Then don't seek peace. Seek purpose. Let your blade serve something greater. The rebellion doesn't need a perfect soldier. It needs someone who knows how to endure. Someone who remembers what pain costs. Let that pain become a shield, not a sword. Fight for the children who still dream. Fight for the light you were never given.
Do you think Kenobi ever forgave me?
In his own quiet way, he did. He carried the weight of you longer than anyone, not because he hated you, but because he mourned what was lost. He saw your fall, but he also saw the child who never had a choice. And that is not hate. That is sorrow. That is love, buried under ruin.
The fire. It's quieter now, for the first time in years.
Then step out of it, Maul. Let the rage go. Let it cool. You were not born to burn. You were born to rise. You carry it all. Still, Not just the armor, not just the chains. You carry the collapse of hope, the memory of screams you couldn't silence, the hands you couldn't save. Every moment you live beneath this shell, you drag behind you the ghosts of what was, and what might have been. The galaxy may see only a weapon now, a cold, towering figure of power and wrath. But I see the boy who fixed broken droids with gentleness, who lit up when he raced, who dreamed of freeing everyone. That boy didn't vanish. He was crushed, bent, and then buried under flame and fear. But he's still there, Anakin. Beneath the ruin. Beneath this.
I wasn't sure you were real. Not anymore. I've seen ghosts, faces I buried, voices I denied. But yours was always different. I remember your face from a time before everything went dark. You stood in the light, so firm in your convictions. Now you stand before me again, as if you've come to weigh what's left of me. You won't find anything worth saving.
I watched you from beyond the veil, as one bound to the living force, helpless. I saw a frightened child, dragged into a temple of solemn faces and colder hearts. You had questions bursting from your soul, and they answered with silence or sermons. They mistook fear for defiance, emotion for weakness. I see now that the Jedi believed that distance meant wisdom, that cutting oneself off from attachment meant clarity. But what you needed, what any child needs, was not a code. It was love. Someone to listen, to help you untangle what you felt without shame. The Force led me to you, and yet I vanished before I could truly help. And so you were left with teachers who never really saw you.
They failed me, yes, over and over in ways that words can't capture. But I stopped counting their failures the moment I realized my own had far outgrown them. There's nothing left of the Jedi in me, no trace of the boy they tried to mold, or the man they hoped would bring balance. I killed him, piece by piece, with every decision I made to hold on to something, and every moment I lost what I was trying to protect. I gave everything to stop the pain, and all I became was its vessel.
They failed you, yes, but I must say it again. So did I. And my failure was not born from malice, but from faith. Faith that they would understand you better than I could. Faith that the Jedi would raise you wisely. I was wrong. I should have fought harder. I should have stayed in the physical world, defied death as I now defy time. I should have taken you away from the Order, if that's what it would have taken. I should have walked beside you every step, not just as a teacher, but as someone who knew the burden of being chosen by the Force and never asked for it. I should have seen that your strength wasn't just in your gifts. It was in your love, your fire, your refusal to let go of the people you cared about. And I should have told you that love was not a weakness.
You speak of staying longer, fighting harder, but you weren't there when I begged them to listen, when I screamed without raising my voice, when I obeyed and still felt empty. They didn't see me, not as I was, only as what I might become, a tool, a symbol. I was never allowed to just be Anakin, not a son, not a boy, not a man who loved too deeply. I kept waiting for someone to tell me it was okay, to feel, to fear, to want, but all I got was silence, cold silence, until he spoke, until Sidious whispered the things I needed to hear, and by the time I understood what he was, I had already given him everything.
The Force teaches many things: connection, instinct, balance. But it does not prepare you for the unbearable weight of grief. It does not tell you how to go on when the person you love dies, screaming in your arms. It does not protect you from the dark whisper that offers control when you feel powerless. You needed someone to kneel beside you in the sand when your mother died. Someone who would say, "You are allowed to feel this. You are allowed to mourn." Not a council that quoted detachment. Not a master who looked away. I abandoned you to a galaxy of rules when what you needed was refuge. And so the cracks began. Quietly, irreversibly.
You say I needed someone to stop me, someone to listen. Do you think I didn't cry for help? I did, just not in words they could hear. I walked into fire thinking I could rewrite fate with power. I looked into Padme's eyes and thought if I was strong enough, I could keep her safe forever. I wasn't trying to conquer. I was trying to hold on to the only person who ever saw me. And in trying to save her, I destroyed her. I destroyed everything.
Even now, even after all you've done, the worlds you've shattered, the lives you've ended, the name you destroyed, I see it. A flicker, an ember, the kind that refuses to die no matter how long it's been buried in ash. You can cover it with armor. Call yourself anything you want. Darth Vader, Enforcer, Monster. But the Force still remembers Anakin Skywalker. That name pulses in its current like a song half forgotten. And she remembered it too. Padme. With her last breath, she whispered it in faith. Not because she was naive, but because she knew what lived inside you, even as the fire consumed her. She believed in you, Anakin. She believed in the part of you you tried hardest to kill. And belief like that, it doesn't vanish. It waits.
I don't want your forgiveness, because I couldn't accept it, even if you gave it. What good is redemption to a man who built his entire existence on a lie? What do I do with mercy now, when my hands are soaked in blood I can never wash away? I used to think hate would keep me going, that if I kept moving forward, I wouldn't have to look back. But I never stopped looking back. Even now, even here, I still see her. I still hear my name in her voice, not Vader. Anakin. And it hurts. It never stopped hurting.
I'm not here to absolve you. I'm not here to drag you back. I'm here to tell you that the darkness around you, thick as it is, ancient and earned, is not absolute. Nothing in the Force ever is. There is no prophecy, no destiny carved in stone, only the will to choose. You have chosen pain again and again because it makes you feel in control. But control is not peace. Power is not healing. And rage is not clarity. Even now, after everything, the Force offers you a thread of light. Not to return to who you were, but to become what you still might be, if you would only reach for it.
I killed her. I killed the one thing that tethered me to the light. And now all I have is silence. The silence of this armor. The silence of my soul. Every step I take is an echo of a choice I can't undo. Every breath I take is borrowed from the man I was. And he would be horrified at what I've become. You say there is something left in me, that the Force still sees it, that she believed. But belief does not raise the dead. Belief does not undo the screams or silence the memories. I am what the galaxy made me, what I made me, a blade forged in fire, wielded by fear, and yet, if the Force still sees something in me, then it sees something I no longer recognize, something I buried long ago under rage and war and the silence of 10,000 tombs. Maybe there is a thread, maybe, but I am afraid of what might happen if I pull on it.
You're real. You're really here. I've heard stories. I've read the ancient texts. I never thought I'd actually see you. Not after everything. Not after what I've done. I didn't think I deserved this. Not anymore.
Yes, I am real, Luke. As real as the force that binds us. As real as your grief. I've come because the force called me. Because in this moment, when you feel furthest from the light, it still reaches for you. You must understand. I have waited a long time to speak to you. Not just as a Jedi of old, but as someone who once believed in the impossible and watched it slip away.
I've heard enough ghosts, Qui-Gon. Too many. Yoda came to me. Obi-Wan, too. Even my father, after he died. They all told me the same thing. Rebuild. Restore what was lost. Carry the light forward. I tried, Master Jin. I truly did. I gave everything I had to that hope. And I still lost him.
I know the weight you carry. I've seen its echo in generations before you. The burden of legacy, of a name, of hope, placed too early on shoulders still growing. The galaxy has done this to you, Luke, just as it did to others before you. They asked you to become a symbol, when what you needed most was time to become a person.
You didn't see it. You weren't there. You didn't feel the way the light shattered when Ben turned. I trained him. I believed in him. He was our future. He had so much strength. Too much, maybe. And when he fell, it wasn't just the temple that burned. It was me. Everything I stood for. Everything I believed I could protect. It all crumbled.
You are not alone in your failure. I too believed I could save a soul that was slipping through my fingers. I believed in your father when no one else did. And though he fell, though he became something twisted and terrible, my faith in him never truly died. That faith may not have saved him then, but it helped light the way for what came after. You, Luke. You were that light.
Yes. I blame myself. I should have seen it coming. I should have stopped it. I should have reached him before the darkness did. But I was blind. I thought I could save him just by being right. By being a Skywalker. That was arrogance. And the cost was everything.
Ben's fall is not the end of your story. It is not the final chapter of your legacy. You see it as proof that you were wrong. But sometimes, even the greatest teachers cannot protect their students from the choices they must make. We are not here to mold their paths with our hands, only to walk beside them until they can find their own footing.
I don't know what else I could have done. Maybe I was never meant to rebuild the Jedi. Maybe I was supposed to walk away. Let the old ways die with me. Let the Force choose someone new. Someone better.
You say you failed him. Perhaps you did. But love without failure is not love. It is control. What you gave Ben was belief. What he chose with it, that was his own burden. You cannot carry the guilt for what he became without also honoring the love that once passed between you. That too is part of the truth.
I tried to carry on. I did. But the Jedi, what they were, what they thought they were, it was broken. The war broke them. The fear broke them. And maybe I inherited all of that. I took on a legacy that was already too heavy, too fragile.
The Force does not judge you for Ben's actions, Luke. It weeps with you. It mourns him, as it once mourned your father. But even in grief, it offers a path forward. That is why I am here. Not to tell you that you were wrong, but to remind you that you are not finished. The light is not through with you yet.
Ben deserved more than I gave him. He needed guidance, not judgment. He needed trust, not pressure. I see that now, but it's too late to fix it. He's gone, and every time I close my eyes, I see his face. Not as Kylo Ren, but as a boy, laughing, asking me about the Force, hungry to understand. I see the child I failed to protect.
You speak of Rey with fear. I understand. The fear of seeing the same story repeat itself. But listen to me closely, Luke. Rey is not Ben. She is not you. She is not us. She is herself. She does not need your perfection. She needs your guidance. She needs your faith. Not in the Jedi Order as it once was, but in the Jedi as it might be, through her.
There's still a part of him in there. I know it. But I also know the damage he's done. The people he's hurt. I don't know if that kind of pain can be undone. I don't know if that kind of fall has a way back.
The Jedi Order fell, not just because of the Sith, but because we forgot how to listen. We clung to rules, to dogma, and ignored the very voices the Force was trying to raise up. Rey may break old traditions. She may question you, challenge you, but in that, she will save what the Jedi once stood for. Not by becoming us, but by becoming more.
And Rey, she's not ready. She's powerful, yes. Brighter in the Force than anyone I've ever seen. But she doesn't understand what it costs. What the darkness takes. I don't want her to carry this weight. I don't want her to make the mistakes I made.
There is fear in your heart, Luke. I feel it as clearly as the wind. But fear does not mean failure. You forget. Even Master Yoda feared the dark. Even Obi-Wan doubted Anakin. I carried the weight of knowing I would never see what would become of my student. I feared I had left him unready. But you must remember, fear is not the end. It is the beginning of choice.
But I don't know how to guide her. Not anymore. I don't trust myself. Not after Ben. Not after the temple. Every time I try to speak, I hear the silence of those who didn't survive. I see the fire, the ruin. I don't want to bring that on her.
Ben still lives. And where there is life, there's a chance for return. He carries pain, yes. But within pain lies the path to truth. And no one is ever beyond the light. Not truly. Not your father. Not Ben. Not even you.
So what am I supposed to do? Just stand by? Watch the galaxy tear itself apart again? Hope that she figures it out on her own? She's strong, yes. But she's alone. And I swore I would never let that happen again.
Let Rey forge her own path. Let her rise from your teachings, and then let her outgrow them. That is what students are meant to do. And if she stumbles, do not hide from her. Walk beside her. She does not need a legend, Luke. She needs you.
But she's not my burden, is she? She's my hope. I see it now. That spark I once carried. She holds it. Maybe brighter. Maybe clearer. I need to believe in her. The way others believed in me.
The galaxy is not asking you to save it again, only to help those who will. That is what we are now. Voices on the wind. Echoes of the past offering a hand to the future. That is enough. You are enough.
Do you really think she can do what I couldn't? That she can succeed where I failed? That she can heal what I shattered?
You wonder if Rey can succeed where you failed. The answer is not found in your guilt. It's found in your hope. If you believe in her, not as your heir, not as a Skywalker, but as herself, then yes, she can, and she will.
Then maybe I haven't reached the end of my story after all. Maybe I've just been standing at the wrong chapter, waiting to turn the page.
This moment is not your ending. It is your reckoning. You can stay here, broken by your fear, or or you can rise. Not to be the Jedi of old, but to become what the Jedi were always meant to be.
Thank you, Master Qui-Gon. I needed to hear that. I don't know what comes next, but maybe I'm ready to face it.
I believe in you, Luke. I never stopped, and I believe in her. As you once believed in your father, now it's your.
You arrive late. Yes, I felt it. A delay not of space, but of spirit. You carry weight, Lord Vader. Heavier than armor, heavier than silence.
My apologies, Master. I was detained. The Force stirs around me differently. I have learned something, a truth long concealed. Leia Organa, the girl from Alderaan, she is more than strong in the Force. She is my daughter.
Ah, secrets. Truth is a blade, my friend. Sharpened, it carves power. Dull, it carves weakness. Your daughter, twins. Tell me, how did this revelation come to you?
She and Luke were born together, hidden from me, from you. It was the Jedi's final deception. It was not spoken. I felt it. In Luke, in her. A shadow behind his fear. A light within her defiance. She is strong, perhaps stronger than Luke. Her potential is still untouched by Jedi training.
Yes, that light. I have seen it in her. A fire untempered, the raw makings of power. But untamed fire consumes everything, especially those foolish enough to love it. And then what? She stands beside you as your apprentice, or do you imagine her above you? You presume much, Lord Vader. You think lineage grants loyalty. Blood does not bind, power does. She is a rebel, poisoned by hope, by compassion. Those roots run deep. So can loyalty. You see your daughter, but I see a threat. I see your thoughts twisting, yearning not for power, but for connection. Dangerous illusions. Connection is weakness. You would trade dominion for sentiment. You who cast aside your past to become more, then you are a fool.
She could be turned, molded. I imagine her with us. Roots can be severed. Perhaps connection is strength. That past never truly died. Perhaps. Or perhaps I see now what you could never understand. Leia is not a threat to me, nor to the Empire. Unless you make her one, I will bring her to heel. I fear only failure. If she is to fall, it will be by my hand. And if she refuses, because I remember, what is thy will, my master?
Skywalker still lingers beneath that mask. He claws from the shadows, whispering treason. Careful, apprentice. There is only one path forward, Lord Vader. One vision, one rule. She will join us, or she will be destroyed. You speak with certainty, but I see your mask, and beneath it, fear. You fear losing her, as you lost Padme, as you lost yourself. Then do not fail me. You are a Shadow Vader, born from fire, shaped by suffering. If you reach for the light, you will burn. If Leia becomes what Luke could not, she may yet serve. But mark me, she is not yours. Not anymore. She belongs to the future I shape. Then she dies. You hesitate. Why? Then forget. or she will remember you as the thing that killed her. Bring her before me, alive, unbroken. If she resists, show her what became of the last one who did. 2 children of Skywalker, one born in light, one reborn in shadow. One must fall.